Who? You already know what it is. Back in the building for another one of these reactions, man. We are back in here to react to the back and forth between Joe Budden and the Rory and Maul podcast. Former co-host turned bitter rivals. And there has just been a back and forth since, honestly, before this, since they broke up. So, let's get into it. Shout out to Underground Sound, by the way.
What's up, hip-hop heads? Welcome back to another explosive episode of our channel, where we bring you the latest and greatest in the world of rap and hip-hop. Today, we're diving deep into the feud that shook the industry to its core. The epic battle between former rapper-turned-podcaster Joe Budden and his co-hosts Rory Farrell and Jamil Mal Clay.
The narratives that were happening this weekend. I'm not even talking about them over there. Just the narratives that exist. Outside of maybe 2 or 3 jokes, since we put our response video out 2 years ago, I have not said a f***ing word. Matter of fact, if anything, I've been objective and complimentary in a lot of places. And if you look at that clip, I even said you deserve to be on that list. Oh, and by the way, I'm talking to Joe. I don't do this who we made concern.
Saying his name.
Subs. You're 45. Talk to people. Don't bleep my name anymore on the podcast. Shut the fuck up. I told you the last time I saw you, leave me alone.
Okay.
And I have not said a fucking word. I've been nothing but kind, polite. Anytime someone brings you up publicly, I don't say bad words. Stop talking about me. Leave me the alone. It's getting obsessive. This is his 3rd press run in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this last one.
I mean, to be completely fair, Maul has been talking about Joe Budden. It's not like even if let's just say for context and content here, Rory's not saying anything about Joe Budden. But we have to defer when we start talking about Maul. I've seen Maul on other podcasts talking bad about Joe Budden. So it's like he may not be saying nothing, but like Maul is definitely saying, like, talking mad, like throwing mad dirt and mud on Joe Budden.
His whole press run was trying to tell people that he does not talk about us. Your press run was talking about us, saying you don't talk about us. You just went on your 3rd press run in 2 years. I have not been on one press run talking about you. I did my response video, and I left it the fuck alone.
You did.
Don't talk about lists, right? You should shut the fuck up if you're not on the list to talk about a list, right? Your YouTube popped from you talking about a list you weren't on. And we know how that ended.
My arms are just tired. I need a mic stand. Like, I don't know about you, but like, yes, we have mic stands, but I think we need more mic stands. We need like 10 more mic stands.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Just get a few more mic stands in here.
Should have kept your library card.
Yeah, that's what I should have did. But I'm glad you addressed that.
No, it's not even like, I may even sound frustrated and upset, and I'm totally cool with sounding that way because I really have been quiet about this entire shit. That's what's making it even cornier. Like, this started with you yelling at an empty chair that I shouldn't come to your son's birth after there's a full episode of you talking about how much that meant to you. One story has not changed at all. One continues to change.
Oh, man, he cooking. Wait a minute. I'll never forget that day, man. It was probably one of the saddest days in podcast history, bro. Just the podcast world really took a big L on that day. And Joe Budden was doing, I ain't gonna lie, he was doing the most on that day. firing them when they're not firing them and talking to two empty seats and two people who are not in front of two like microphones was hilarious. But it made me kind of like sad at the same time because those three as a unit, not even just the three of them, like Parks, Joe Budden, Rory, and Maul. That was a great tandem, man. Like, and that I don't think there's a dynamic like that can ever be built up again. Like amongst all the podcasts that are like breaking up and splitting and stuff, like between those four and Jesus and Miro, podcast world ain't been the same, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. After those two breakups,
changed. I never took it personal. I never said wild. I never even went in on your business. I left it alone after that response video. So leave me the fuck alone. And
had we not spoken about that, we would have been hating.
That's where you can't win.
Now that we spoke about it, we hating. I don't hate nobody. I don't pay attention to niggas enough to hate niggas. Like that's why I hate when I get drug into this shit, because it's like I don't care about none of these dudes, man. Respect and love to all of y'all. I'm just saying facts are facts.
Is it though?
That's it. Let's deal with the facts. But we're not mad. Rory and I are happy. Our staff is happy. Everybody's having a great time. We have mic stands. We have mic stands. We have equipment. Like, I don't want people to think that we don't have these are all like false, just moving the goalpost. Like, cut it out, man. With the stop, bro. You're not the nigga that know. You're not the master of podcasting. I know niggas you call you the podfather and you let that circle you when you came on yourself.
Combat Jack called himself that, and then he passed away, and then you started.
Yeah, like stop it with that. Wow. Man, cut it out. It's corny, bro. Like this is corny. I gotta take 7 showers a day now because my name is next to yours in the mud. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to do this shit, man. Like, look what y'all got me doing.
The same thing I said to Joe and everyone else. Leave me alone. Don't talk about me. I don't talk about y'all. Leave me the fuck alone. I know we're creating content. People are pod wars, all this shit. I'm talking just to y'all in real life. It just happens to be on a podcast. This is not a war or a back and forth. Shut up. I'm going to shut up.
Bang,
and we can all move
bang.
on and do whatever we want with our lives. Let the fans talk all day. But y'all, shut up. Shut up. I'm going to do the same. Shut up.
My arm is still tired.
I will stick to my side of that if everyone relaxes. Because if I wanted to get froggy, not talking about anything with physical violence, talking about other things.
Wait a minute.
Things in the bookstore.
Hold
things
up.
on the first page of the book.
Wait a minute.
I could. And I never wanted to. So everyone just relax and enjoy their lives and leave me the fuck alone.
Sounds like some thread.
And we can move on to other topics.
Thread is in there somewhere.
Yeah. In recent months, the hip-hop community has been buzzing with news about a list Complex published ranking the most influential hip-hop broadcasters. To the surprise of many, Joe Budden, a former rapper turned podcaster, was ranked number one. However,
that's how all this mess started, because Complex wanted to give Joe Budden appreciation and just wanted to throw all the other podcasters under the bus, all because Joe Budden is a former personality who used to be at Complex. I don't get it, honestly. That's just me. They should they should stick to hip hop lists. Oh wait, they can't do hip hop lists either. To me, there's nothing Complex can do to not stir up controversy. So it's like, why make it any different with podcasts? Everybody has a fan base. Everybody has supporters, and honestly, everybody who's on that list deserves to be mentioned, and the people that are not on that list deserve to be mentioned too, you know? Like, but you know, that's how the industry is. That's all it is.
What followed next was even more surprising. Budden's co-hosts on the Joe Budden podcast, Rory Farrell and Jamil Mal Clay, took issue with the list, and their reaction sparked a public feud with Budden that has only escalated since. It all started when Rory and Mal expressed their surprise at Joe's ranking on the list during an episode of their podcast.
I mean, the feud with these three never actually stopped. They never actually stopped really beefing, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion on it. Ever since the breakup, they've been talking about each other.
They believed that Joe was given too much credit for his contributions to hip-hop culture, and that other broadcasters, such as Charlemagne Thaw God, deserved the top spot.
Thaw God.
Joe, however, seemed to take their criticism personally and began sneak dissing them on his podcast. The feud between the three hosts continued to escalate, with Joe Budden continually sneak dissing Rory and Mal on his show. The tension reached a boiling point when Joe branded the Rory and Mal podcast as the bare minimum boys. Rory and Mal were understandably hurt by this and took to their podcast to express their disappointment. They also recorded a podcast episode in which they responded to Joe's sneak disses and explained their side of the story. In their response, Rory and Mal made it clear that they had no issue with Joe being ranked number 1 on the list. Their problem was with the way he had been acting since then, specifically his tendency to belittle their contributions to the podcast and hip-hop culture as a whole. Rory and Mal argued that they had been instrumental in making the Joe Budden podcast a success, and that they deserved more recognition for their contributions. They also pointed out that Joe had a history of treating people poorly, both on and off the show, and that his behavior was not new. The response from Joe Budden was swift and aggressive. He went on his podcast and accused Rory and Mal of being ungrateful and trying to leverage their success on the show for personal gain. He also accused them of being disloyal and claimed that they were trying to take over his show. Joe's response only served to further inflame the feud, with fans of the show taking sides and adding fuel to the fire on social media. The situation became so contentious that it ultimately led to the end of the Joe Budden podcast, as it was known. In the aftermath of the feud, Rory and Mal have gone on to start their own podcast, New Rory and Mal, which has been met with critical acclaim. They have also been open about their experiences on the Joe Budden podcast and have used their platform to shed light on the importance of respecting one's colleagues and treating people with kindness. The feud between Joe Budden, Rory Farrell, and Jamil Mal Clay is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ego and pride. It serves as a reminder that success is a team effort and that no one person can take credit for the accomplishments of a group.
Or it also could be a thing where the lesson of those guys is that friends can't really go into business with each other. That's really what it is. But we're going to go to the response that Joe Budden had to these two gentlemen.
The feud between Joe Budden and his former co-hosts Rory and Mal shows no signs of slowing down, as Budden continues to ignore the advice of his current co-hosts Ice, Ish, and Queensflip. During a recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Budden went on a rant exposing the previously undisclosed deal that Rory and Mal signed with Steiker worth $10 million.
Oh, wow.
A lot of podcasters out there were able to pull from that and get help from that. Now, Hit Dogs holla, and Hitman holla, and holla if you count.
Holla if you hear me.
But if it don't apply, you kind of just let that fly. You just let it fly. I want to take this time to clear some things up really quickly, and we'll move on. I want to define the term press run because we're largely responsible with introducing it, and y'all using it wrong.
Oh yeah. He did say press
run. A press run is when you set up a string of press for the purpose of promoting something.
Introducing a product.
Yeah.
You have to have something to promote.
True.
If you just pop up somewhere, that's not a press run. And Bear has been saying that for some time now. I totally disagree with that. Bear.
So he don't even got the decency to call these. He don't even got the decency to call them by their names. Wow. He going as far as actually saying bare and minimum. Wow. The disrespect, like, bro. The disrespect is
Bang, bang,
crazy.
bang, bang, bang.
Disrespect.
Dom the Monko.
Goodness, the disrespect is crazy.
Who's
My goodness. Queens Flip. Queens Flip.
Bear.
Bear.
You are mistaken in when I show up to these platforms, these people just are thrilled to have me. I'm not there promoting something, and I certainly wouldn't be there to just promote you. Bear, you are wrong in that. And I'm not your enemy. I'm not the enemy for once. I ain't spoke to niggas in years. Actually, you about to make me go in there.
I saw it.
You about to make me go in there. You make me mad now. Yeah, I'm not anybody's enemy. I ain't spoke to nobody in years. I'm just offering constructive criticism by watching and just seeing what's going on. Now, one of the last times that I saw Bear.
I know y'all are wondering why did I just like speed it up? Because I forgot I'm supposed to speed it up. I forgot. Throw me a bone here. Pause.
We met up over there at Onview, and he needed a ride to his car. So he got in my car, and I was driving in the garage, and he said, "Hey, man, you know we got close to that 10 million, right? I mean, we didn't get that 10, but we got close." And I just nodded my head, "All right, Bear. Like, why you even tell me? It's none of my business."
Right? Why?
And he said, "Because I feel like I want you to know."
Your
And I said, "All right, well, you're lying."
Wasn't that the whole reason y'all left in the first place? Is because the finances weren't being shown to y'all? He wasn't showing y'all some alleged contracts that y'all needed to see. So why now then are you now in whatever situation you're in now trying to discuss your business with a former boss? That doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Like, make it make sense if that is true.
I said, "How you know?" I said, "Because you're set. Not a $10 million set." And then shortly after that, we stopped speaking, and then y'all wasn't at the set no more. And I'll admit, I wanted to know why.
You see what you started? Why you blaming me? This is about to go bad. Go ahead.
No, it ain't. I ain't saying nothing wrong.
I know. You have a way of not saying
I'm
anything
talking
wrong,
to
though.
podcasters because Bear and Minimum have done nothing but put on a master class to put on a master class in how to lose value. So I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to future podcasters to learn from your mistakes. So I wanted to know why y'all left that little studio.
Yo, let me say this real quick.
And you ended up in y'all house. So then you started recording next to a graveyard, and I took a moment to laugh because I love when me see eye to eye on things.
Yo.
But the problem with that is, I said to myself, now wait a second. All right. Oh, the nigga said, well, we're not in the building no more because they didn't like how the dog was acting around here. And I said, that sounds familiar. But then I scratched my head. I said, wait a minute, Bear. You mean to tell me that these niggas gave you $10 million and said, hey, your dog can't come up here no more, and you stayed home with the dog?
Oh, what the?
Podcast at his house.
I didn't know he was going there with this, guys.
But we did.
Told you, asshole.
We did.
But why y'all didn't tell me he
I
goes
just
in like
told
this?
you, asshole.
We did.
That's what
Yo, maybe this really is an emotional support dog. You idiot. If somebody gave you $10 million, you have to go to work.
Right now.
So I'm saying to podcasters out there, hey, to whom it may concern, the people that are paying you are watching you. I ain't saying nothing so prolific. If I see this and they see it, you got to ask yourself a few things. One, will I continue to be paid this way when this deal is up? Two, is my pay going to go up or is my pay going to go down? Everybody got to go to bed with them questions for themselves. Y'all over there, you know that Minimum don't have a comfortable couch in his house. He over there disrespecting your couch, yo. This nigga put his feet on, he rolling around. Nigga might as well get on your couch.
It's crazy because now we identify who is Bear and who is Minimum. Bro, this is so messed up. This is so messed up, bro. Nah, this is crazy. This is crazy for real. Wow.
Why you lip shivering? That nigga is disrespecting Bear. And Bear can't say nothing about it. I'm just telling you the things that I'm watching and observing. I can't be the bad guy for saying, hey, podcasters out there, if y'all grab a microphone, page 1 of the manual says, say something compelling. It's right there, second sentence. Hey, when you leave Sam Ash, say a strong opinion.
Or B&H.
Entertain. That's the other thing. I'm going to address this. It was a big deal about what I said about holding mic. Some people got offended. I wasn't trying to be funny. All I was saying was, if you're sitting somewhere holding the mic for a long time, then you clearly don't plan on being there a long time. You're looking in the face, you're looking doofy, you don't know what to do with your hands. It's the bare minimum again. I thought that was helpful. You got to get the uncomfortable feeling of going to B&H. Podcasters out there again. You go to B&H, let them ring up all that you don't think you need, and sit with the bill. It hurts.
It does. I got my B&H.
It hurts.
Got my B&H thing here with me, my receipt. I look at it all the time.
It hurts. All I'm saying is have some pride in what you're doing.
Or Adorama.
That's all I'm saying.
B&H and Adorama, get a credit card there, you know.
You have your sound.
I was just looking on B&H. That's the funny part about it. I was just looking on B&H while he over there being funny. I was for real looking at B&H trying to find another, I believe like another camera or another microphone. But yeah, a lot of this is like backhanded like advice with shots mixed in. For real, is what he's doing.
Sound equipment on a bar stool, and you're not on bar stool.
Oh, why you going there? Now you go. What you doing, David?
It's on a ottoman. Yeah, get out here. The out, nigga.
Oh, companies, all your companies that play with my man. Look, this is how you bring podcasting back. You see, podcast was falling, right? The numbers was down, but single-handedly.
Stop.
Bring it back, Joe.
Snake your wires around. Hey, yes, you do, Rick. Snake the wires around. Now, you just got the wires across the living room table. It's a mess. It's a mess, girl.
He said it's a mess, girl.
I think that's good advice. Fix the shot. Set designer, all this. This is to all podcasters. Get the blender and rice cooker out of the Stop!
Yo, you stupid, yo.
He really is.
Again, Flip, this is your fault.
How's this my fault?
I'm just letting you know.
No, it's their fault for telling me to get quiet and not to get. If you tell me you could get froggy for me soon, y'all know me. Oh, what I'm gonna do? Ribbit.
Be petty. Be petty.
Somebody said that?
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I didn't know that part.
Where did you hear these things? You be hearing some shit that
nigga said it. I just be responding to things. So we're gonna leave this alone.
Okay.
Let's stop. I want to get back to my motto of when they go low, we go lower first, and then we go higher. So I want to tell Bear, I love you a little bit, dog, but your man Minimum,
my Rory, yeah,
he's done interview after interview. He keeps tweeting things and saying things, and unfortunately, you guys are a group. I'm going to respond to you guys like you're a group.
The real beef
if
is
you chill out, I vow to chill out as well. But if not, I got nothing but time. It's summertime time too.
Maul and Joe Budden were
can have some fun.
Actually friends.
That's it. Of course, nobody's gonna hear that part. They're gonna look at me like a bad guy. So.
Then him and
Think
Rory.
So? They don't care. No.
It makes sense.
What?
You went on the edge, man.
Well, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
Because I tell you, I act like that when she's around.
So are you saying that if you let what's it saying about dead dogs lie, whatever that is? You saying
Hit dog holler?
No, not that one.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
Lie.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're saying that
Banana
you
in the tailpipe or something.
Put
Are you
the
saying
fellas
that
back in the booth.
Yeah.
are you saying that you'll let things be if nobody say anything else to you?
If everybody keep it cute, I will do the same.
Okay.
If I see anything that looks disparaging to my name, I will have to defend myself.
So are you looking for the disparaging things?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. So you know, ego will kick in. That means you're telling men, basically in a nice way, don't say, and it won't be.
I'm not telling men nothing. If they listen back to their own recording, the nigga voice was trembling, his face turned all pink. Like, they not built for this.
I don't know if they are or not.
Damn. He said
Nigga
they
sound
not
like-
built for this.
What's guy carrying? Aaron?
Ken?
Ken. That's what it sounded like. All right, I'm done. Come on, Chance, stop it. You not done. Get your stuff. Get your stuff. Get your
Why does it got to be like that with you? I got to get at you a little bit. I'm just saying like that. This was really your man, bro. Like, just let it go.
You're right.
That was really your man. You told me like,
Hey, y'all mind the Twilight Zone?
Erase all of that.
All right.
He said
Take all
erase
that out.
all of that.
If somehow it stays in, then that Sparks is bad.
what you mean the Twilight? I'm just saying. Don't be the Twilight. I'm
Clean
just
this
saying.
up. Make sure that anything I
said
said that
if
was
it-
mean and uncalled for
He said if it
comes
all
out of this.
stays in, it'll be
I'm just saying when I
partial.
got signed here, you know, we had to go through so we didn't go through a sensitivity class, but we went through the meeting class. And you made me understand of how things played out in society for you. And you were really, you know, tell me at the time you were hurt. So I'm just saying, like, you know, give it a chance. It's just both everybody hurt.
No, let's chill. That's true.
Yeah.
That's respect. That's true. He's right. He's right. He's right. We folding now. That nigga, now what? Now what?
Y'all over here now.
Them niggas is confused.
They don't know what to do.
Look, I'm lost. I need a
Am I in
roadmap.
the Twilight Zone? Yes, nigga.
Now I see what flip really mean. I got it.
I'm a
It's all right.
traitor.
Yeah, it's all right.
I got you niggas all around. I'm just take it back. I don't want it to be on me.
They're selling bare minimum shirts. I'm telling y'all something.
That's fire, though. That's fire.
They spelled minimum wrong too. I don't know. I think that was.
Parks! Whoa!
All right.
They never dissed you, man.
I didn't diss him.
No, did they for real? We got to run that podcast. Spelling bee back too now. With everybody.
How long did they spell it wrong?
We got to do
The
a
shirt's hot,
podcast
though.
spelling bee back with everybody. You know how to spell, Mel?
Oh my! I
shows
was
up.
a spelling bee champ.
Say less. Say less. That's it. It's got to check. All right, moving on. I can't move on because I kind of want to know on air now.
Parks,
That's gonna be so telling. They better not. Parks better be wrong. Nah, everybody checking. Because it's fun.
I don't know what to
It's
find
it's
out.
fun a little
No,
bit.
it's not.
okay, minimum is spelled on the shirt MINUMUM.
That's not how you spell.
On their
Spell it one more
shirt.
time.
Say that
I can't
again?
spell.
On their
It better
shirt.
not be too used.
Look, on their shirt. Spell it, Ish. But maybe they didn't want to put the
Maybe
real-
that was like
Yeah.
it was funny.
Can
you
I
know?
see?
They probably charge you to spell it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Them niggas don't be wanting to pay.
Oh, shit, they acting like you.
Them niggas didn't pay for a spell check. All right, come on. Now I'm out. I'm done. Make sure all of this about them is erased out of here.
Got it.
Thanks.
I think it was intentionally done like that.
Flip, we keep moving. Flip, I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
Like, why you keep reeling it back?
Now I got to know which one of them. Minimum better not spell minimum.
Budden didn't hold back in his criticism of his former
he didn't
co-hosts,
at all.
mocking their studio setup and
Goodness.
claiming that it wasn't up to the standard of a $10 million podcast. He also revealed that he had encountered Rory at an event and questioned why they had started recording the podcast at Rory's house instead of at the Stitcher studios. Rory had reportedly told Budden that it was because of his puppy and the building's pet policy, but Budden wasn't convinced. During his rant, Budden insinuated that Rory and Mal were running on a tight budget, which was the only explanation for the poor visual setup of their podcast. He joked about seeing Rory's kitchen appliances in some shots and called them the bare minimum boys. Budden also warned that their lax attitude towards the visual component of their podcast could come back to bite them when their current deal with Stitcher expires. Despite the advice of his co-hosts, Budden seems determined to continue his public feud with Rory and Mal. His decision to expose the details of their deal with Stitcher suggests that he is willing to go to great lengths to undermine their
Yeah, that was
reputation
kinda
and credibility.
stupid. I don't know why he
However,
did that.
the fallout from this feud highlights the need for open and honest communication in any partnership, particularly in the hip-hop industry where power dynamics can be particularly fraught. It's important for individuals and partnerships to prioritize conflict resolution and to seek out constructive ways to address disagreements before they escalate. Moving forward, it's up to all of us to learn from the mistakes made by Budden, Rory, and Mal, and to work towards creating a more supportive and collaborative hip-hop community. By prioritizing open communication and conflict
this has gotta
resolution,
be an AI
we can build
recording.
stronger and more resilient partnerships that benefit everyone involved. In the end, the feud between Budden, Rory, and Mal serves as a cautionary tale for anyone navigating the hip-hop industry. While disagreeing
Anyways, man, that is the end of this reaction. My final thoughts is it's gonna get messy before it ever gets clean, to be honest with you. That's just the truth about it, man. It's gonna get messy before it get clean, and the sooner they stop talking about each other and just, the sooner Rory and Mal just stop talking about Joe Budden, it's really Mal. The sooner Mal just stops worrying about talking about Joe Budden, the better off their brand will be, And that is all I got.